I think we've been playing really good lately. Early in the year, we're really young. We lost 60% of our pitching and probably 58% of our offense. And early, we were really good. Fought through some confidence issues there. And then of lately, we've played really well. Like last week when we played at a high level on Thursday, and the first game on Friday. The second game, we should have won that game, probably left guys on base when we shouldn't have, but we've been sitting out there 12 hours. It's a difficult time when you're dealing with 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids in 12 hours on a baseball field.
That second game where Levi Prater was really good on the mound, and then it was batting practice. I mean, I'm sure you're looking for that same kind of effort this week, but just talk about how that carries you into the series.
I think the biggest thing about baseball is the confidence issue. It's a fragile piece of ice, but it's also pretty easy to get, and you've got to learn how to maintain the momentum. And we took the momentum early in that game, early on Thursday, early in the game Friday, and if we can carry that same momentum into tomorrow, it'd be huge. If we can score early, it's always good for our team, especially when you're younger. I've always said, you show me a 5-run lead, you show me a guy that's got all of a sudden his breaking ball and his changeup and his fastball commands gets better. He doesn't have to try to put up zeros. He can afford to make a mistake.
How important was that start for Cade against Oklahoma State, and how big will that be? How does he feel going into this weekend?
He threw a bullpen yesterday. Felt really good. Maybe too fresh. That's what I worry about. I thought it was too fresh last week. But him, he's learning how to pitch. And you've got to make sure that you calm him down a little bit, make him take it pitch to pitch. You talk about those guys, and it's easy to talk about, but it's hard to live at times because the only thing they can control on the mound is throwing the ball at the target. You can't get the hitter out. All you can do is throw it to the target. And you try to make sure you keep telling him about that, talking to him about that, almost like it's Groundhog Day. I mean, over and over and over until it becomes a part of him.
Is Cade going to pitch Friday or Wednesday?
Yeah, that's who you wanted to pitch, right? Huh?
I would love anyone to pitch. But will Cade Cavalli be the starter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
He'll be the starter.
Okay.
He'll be the starter.
As far as just the depth with your staff, do you like how that sets up for a tournament setting, a double elimination form?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Ben hadn't been as good lately, and I think that's he was a little bit sick. And Levi was sick yesterday morning, so we've had a virus go through our clubhouse, and O's was sick. But I think the biggest thing that really helps Ben and our tournament team is their strike throwers, and I think that'll help us because everybody on that team, except for probably 2 of them that we're bringing, have thrown significant amount of innings. And what I really like about it is they're freshmen and they're going to get a lot of experience. And hopefully we've done a lot to get in the NCAA tournament. We've won every Friday night except for 2 nights in this league. That ought to say something. So I'm really excited about that as much as anything. And just getting to play in the environment, getting ready and taking it like it's a regional. Our first season's over with, now we start our second season.
Do you like the idea that there's not a whole lot of unknown for you guys as far as your future after this week and need to probably win a couple games?
I would hope we wouldn't have to win any, Eddie. If we're really the number 2 conference in the country, we wouldn't have to win any. We just go play baseball. When you start talking about a result, we're 33-21, and I can understand. You look at the juggernaut from 3rd to 7th place. It's all one game. That's how tough our conference is. What they do in basketball. Yeah. It's almost identical to basketball, and if you really look at it, and I think we've done that. We can match up with anybody in the country. That's not an issue. The issue is if getting in, and we made the mistake of giving it to somebody else and letting those guys make that decision. And when you do that, you got to take the brunt of the decision they make.
You talk about feeling like you deserve to get in, but comfortable going into this week as far as...
Absolutely. The only uncomfortable unknown we got going into it is we play Thursday and a doubleheader Friday, and we start tomorrow. They didn't get a full week's rest, and the week before that they didn't get a full week's rest. So you're already taxing guys that they hadn't done it all year, and big difference. You're dealing with routines, you're dealing with a lot of things, and if you're asking kids to do something sometimes they're not capable of doing, and so you really got to stay on top of the trainers, which our trainer's very good, and our strength coach to make sure they get enough sleep, we exercise, we get enough our maintenance, get enough all that stuff, and we're going into this week.
Was that good for you then that you were able to get through the weekend without using Cade?
Yeah, I mean, for sure it was. It was good. I mean, we threw a bullpen every day, touch and feel every day, just to keep him, sharp and trying to keep him sharp. A bullpen's a lot different in the game, though. Yeah. So we try to make it as game-like as we can make it.